Conley Cougar himself coming over here.
Absolutely. So he'll steps over to join us now. So we're, like I said, we're doing the whole thing, getting all these Longhorn guys on. So as Jahdae joins us now, I asked X who the best interview was on the football team, and he said Jay Witt. I know from our post-game locker room interviews on our Longhorn football broadcast that the former Conley Cougar was probably at the top of the list or darn near close to it again.
I just try my best. I'm here just to get the opportunity with y'all. It's always fun and excitement with you guys. But, no, it's just a blessing just to be here, though.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you about that. How exciting is it for you to be a part of this thing?
It's amazing. Just Coach Sark trusting me and just bringing me along over here today and just being out here with this atmosphere and this energy over here.
All right, so this is what I wanted to ask you, Jahdae, so I'll go ahead and get it out of the way. I thought you were probably a second-team all-conference guy last year. People had you on the honorable mention. I figured you'd be preseason all-conference this year. Mm-hmm. You weren't. Do you feel like maybe the most underrated, underappreciated, slept-on DB in this league, considering what your body of work was last year?
Well, like you said, you have an opinion on it. Everybody has their opinion about me. I've always been the guy underrated in a standpoint. So I always had a chip on my shoulder. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna stand on business. And come September, I'm gonna show the world, and I'll show everybody.
So you're not particularly bothered by it then?
I'm never bothered. Come September, I'll show the world.
Yeah. What part of your game do you feel has come the farthest since you have been on campus at UT in your time at Texas, and what part do you still feel that you could be even better at?
I would say the best of my game is off the field. It's the film room.
Were you not a big student of it before?
Well, coming into college, that's when I first got dialed in. But I'm growing, and I know how to teach myself film. So it'll be the film room. And the second part, I want to get better with my crafting, just in my footwork for man.
Yeah.
You played a lot of special teams and you were productive on special teams as a freshman. And there are going to be a lot of young guys. Look, there's a lot of good athletes and they're young on this roster. A lot of speed that's young on this roster. Uh-huh. What would you tell a young guy that might start on special teams? Because you're a perfect example of, hey, you might be on special teams as a freshman, but that's kind of your ticket to getting on the field on defense.
Well, yeah. So everybody has a role. Everybody has a role on the team. I have a role on the team. At the end of the day, you gotta lock in on that role and maintain that role. And once that role can also put you on the field. Yeah. Just like, for instance, Keaton Crawford. Keaton Crawford is one of the best we have on special teams, but it's about to put him on the field. Right. So it builds value for yourself, and it builds value for yourself just for the league.
Right.
You did it again. You knocked it out of the park as an interview. Appreciate you dropping by.
Thank you, sir.
All right. That's Jahdae Barron. Now, before we get to the break, we got the one other. Oh, look at him. He's already
here.
He knows the drill as well. The preseason Big 12 football player, defensive player of the year, who should have been the 2022 Big 12 football defensive player. I'm not saying it just because Jaylon Ford's here. I'm saying I said it on the air, and I called it an outrage last year. But you kind of took it all in stride.
Yeah.
Did it bother you any?
No, not really. I'm grateful for the position I'm in. I actually texted Felix, and I told him, congratulations on it. I was proud of him. I'm not really the guy to, dwell or kind of have any negative feelings towards it. I honestly think it was just motivation to, come back and actually go achieve that this year and achieve a lot more, actually, so.
Hey, Jaylon, real quick, we were just talking to Jahdae, and, I feel like between the postseason awards last year, the preseason awards this year, you look at his body of work, his production, I don't think the recognition matches up with what he's done. How underrated is he, and how a guy that plays next to him, how good is he?
Jahdae is really good. He makes plays, and being next to him, it's more obvious. And then me and him, we have to be on a whole nother page in order to really kind of, make plays and do what we're supposed to as our roles. And so, I talk to him all the time about it, and he knows he's underrated, but he uses it as motivation. And so I credit him for that. He doesn't really let it get to him. He knows what he has to do to go out there, and I'm really excited to see what he has in store for everybody this year.
So how do you get better as a player? I mean, you had a landmark season last year. How do you get better?
My biggest thing is working on the weaknesses. Everyone has weaknesses, and everyone has something you can improve on. For me, There's some things that I feel like I can improve on, or just even the things that I'm good at, you make them even better. So and that's what I've honestly, that's what I've owned into this off season. Hopefully, it pays off once the season comes around. And then my biggest thing is just stepping up and trying to be a leader for our team, showing guys the way. A lot of guys saw what I did last year, and they understand that I'm just like them. I was in the position that they're in, a couple years ago. And so if they can, if they respect me enough and, understand that I put in the work and it kind of showed, then I can kind of lead them the same way, and, they'll follow my footsteps. So.
It's great to see you again. I look forward to seeing you on the field again this fall. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, of course. Thank y'all.
Jaylan Ford, Defensive Player of the Year, preseason Big 12 Conference Defensive Player of the Year. We'll be back to wrap up today's edition of Light the Tower on the Horn.